Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you.
All right. I'm
It's a
sure
pleasure to
you've
be here with
listened
you.
to my long monologue out there, sometimes messed up with the teleprompter, but I tried to get it as good as I could. So much is going on the ground at this moment. And you have the forces in Yaoundé led by Paul Atanganji. He is essentially the hangman of in that part of the country. Threats every day, telling directed to Issa Chiruma and saying to him, "You dare not continue to declare yourself the victor, and you dare not continue to say that elections are rigged until Elecam or the Constitutional Council says so." But he turns around and they go behind, they put out secret results that show Paul Biya as winner. What is Issa Chiruma campaign going to do about this?
Chris, I think the campaign is counting on the force of truth. On the one hand, I believe Issa Chiroma is the third president of Cameroon. There's the facts are there in terms of the numbers. This is a democracy, or at least a semblance of one. So the force of truth coming out.
Thank you. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Emi Bankwe. He called into the show. He doesn't know that he is live with me. I just decided to pick the call live because he's been dodging every call of mine. He didn't know that I am live and he is speaking live on television. He will be shocked to hear that. But let me bring back Eric here. You listen to that, Eric? That is Emi Bankwe, the torturer in said Yaoundé, the killer in said Yaoundé. What do you make of him saying the things that he said?
I am blown away, literally. I mean, and again, this is the problem of that regime, that low-level servants of the republic will end up as multimillionaires.
Yeah.
When amongst 30, there are a handful of people in a crowd of 30 million, in a population of 30 million, a handful have found a way to monopolize all of the resources of the Commonwealth. And 90% of the people are in dire poverty. I just don't get it. And you've just exposed one of them.
Yeah.
This guy who recently left that regime a few months ago on retirement, and he retires with oil companies.
With oil companies? With oil? Tell me, which civil servant in Cameroon can retire with oil companies, not just in Africa, in France?
Yes, yes. And he's not alone. I've been told of companies that have come to that country to mine everything from bauxite to manganese to iron ore. I've been told about all of these companies coming, and and almost the first stop is the office of some senior official who wants 5% of the investment capital. 5%. Has not, and then they'll negotiate any deal with that company. This is the tragedy of our times.
Yeah, go on.
Oil is not only the oil he's talking about. It's not only the oil from Dian. It's not only oil resources from offshore resources outside of Limbe.
Right.
It's oil resources from across that country. It's other resources from across that country. And if he can have it, think about all the handful of others. And we're not talking about 1% of the population.
Right.
Actually, 0.01% who can have that kind of access.
Right.
And all of that money is abroad. There's very little. They can't even have it in the country because they'll be exposed. And this is the tragedy of our times. This is the tragedy of Africa, not only Cameroon,
It's a
but it's
big tragedy. It's
yeah,
a big tragedy that somebody, a
and that's why
common
people are fighting for
soldier,
change. Yeah.
retires and has
Mm-hmm.
oil companies all over
Mm-hmm.
the place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get back to the
That's
discussion
why
we had
we.
before your
Yes.
camera was disrupted. Let's talk about what is going on the ground now, the tensions, the pressures on the regime to yield. Do you see Issa Chiroma fighting this to the end? And do you see Cameroonians standing up for once to eject this Biya regime?
Yes. First of all, it's not Issa Chiroma's war. It's it's the people of Cameroon. It's the electors. It's the voters. It's their war. Issa Chiroma is a leader in that battle. That's all he is. But a leader does not go to war alone. So what we fully expect is that if this must be transformed into an outright battle for power, so be it. But we hope that it will be settled through institutional means. So Elecam and the Constitutional Council would put Cameroon over their individual interests. There's nobody in that country who does not know that Mr. Issa Chiroma was the surprise of these elections. They didn't see it coming. The regime had always felt that if they didn't act, Maurice Kamto would be president of Cameroon. So they felt it was in their interest to get rid of Maurice Kamto, and they broke the law in the process of getting rid of Maurice Kamto. They broke the law. But people were willing to forgive them because there were 12 or 11 other candidates approved to stand against Mr. Biya. 11. Down the road, 2 resigned, 2 decided not to go, pursue their electoral desires to the end.
Yeah.
Mr. Akeremona pulled out of the race, and Mr. Ateki Caxton pulled out of the race. So we had 9 others competing against Mr. Biya, and again the population was willing to let go. Then of course Mr. Issa Chiroma emerged, and they thought, okay, well he can't perform to the level of Kamto. So there was no, and then they knew that he also had Buba Bello in the north. And the strategy was, let's just make sure the two do not come together. So whatever happened in Cameroon, the government just focused on making sure there were no coalitions.
Right.
That was its only strategy. It could not imagine that without a coalition, any single candidate will come out of the lot and be in a position to throw out the CPDM. That's exactly what happened. So Mr. Chiroma, in my view, won fair and square. But
The Union for Change coalition was made up of who and who?
Well, the Union for Change, this is interesting. That's a good question. The Union for Change was made up of a lot of parties that were not retained to run for president. There were 83 candidates, but there were over 100. There were over 100, maybe 150, maybe more than that, who actually had put in their candidacies. And then, of course, Elecam winnowed that down to 83. And then from the 83 that were accepted as potential, So 12 candidates were announced.
Now, I realized that Cabra Libi did not join the coalition, the Union for Change. Neither did, of course, Keremuna was with Buba Bello. And then you also had the Adamu Ndamjoya's wife coalition. On the eve of the election, I think 7 of them decamped to endorse Isa Chiruma. Have all this,
No,
with the
no.
exception?
That's not correct.
Okay.
None of the declared candidates decamped to support Isa. The Union for Change was comprised of candidates that had not been retained to run by Elekam.
Oh,
so
I
they
get
came
it.
together. Yes, and that's who supported Isa Chiroma. And the government was not interested in that. They continued to focus on the 9 others who remained. The 9 after Muna and Ateki resigned. So they focused on the 9 others who remained, trying to make sure none of them would come together in a coalition. That was the only strategy it had. It did not take into account what technology. I wouldn't know who it is. But again, as I say, I do not put it past the regime in Yaoundé, who's they're obviously money craze and manipulation could have done what they did. And then, of course, my coming on does not please a lot of people.
Interesting.
So that's where we are.
So has Buba Bello formally communicated with Isa Chiroma since the election?
I don't know for sure. I know that the letters, there are a couple of letters actually on the web, which one has been debunked. It's not clearly not from Bello, even though it was signed by Bello's campaign director, the senator Ngayap.
Yeah.
But a more authentic letter.
I guess Eric is frozen again. He is frozen. While he reconnects, let me bring in the Honorable Chris Ajua, who is...
we're back again.
Oh, you're back again. Wow.
Did you see... You didn't see this figure? Did you?
No,
see
I didn't
it
see that face this time. I didn't see it. Well, I guess something is wrong with your network out there. So you were talking about Buba Bello not formally contacting Isa Chiruma. Oh, I guess you are frozen again. Okay. Somebody is confirming it here. Say, Comrade Chris, you are right. I also saw the person putting on eyeglasses.
Okay. Yeah.
So, so somebody is confirming what I just told you. Comrade Chris, you are right. I also saw the person putting on eyeglasses. Yeah. Eric is having a very difficult time with the connection there. I guess the network or whatever it is a big problem. Let's wait and see. Let me bring in Chris Ajua, chair of the Restoration Council of Ambazonia, to give us his take on what he has been watching in the La République du Cameroon all this while of elections. Honorable Chris. Your microphone is not turned on. Something is not right today. No, I cannot hear you. Your microphone is not on. I cannot hear you. I see you. I cannot hear you. Log out and log back in, sir. Log out and log back in. That may be the solution. In the meantime, Eric Ginger is still frozen.
When you can hear me, let me know.
Oh, great, perfect. I hear you now. Okay, give us your take with what is happening in La République du Cameroon, sir.
Yes, Comrade Chris, I will start by saying that your friend Emi Bankui, I don't know whether he knew you were coming online at that time when he called,
He
but
didn't know. He didn't know that I was live. He incidentally called and didn't know I was live.
well,
And he will be shocked to realize that that was live.
and he has spilled the beans. Now we know he's an oil broker, an oil trader, and all that stuff. So where did the money come from for him to run the business?
Right.
You can understand that. He didn't acquire the money to start after he retired from the government.
Right.
Into the topic when he said something about God and leaders, or God and rulers. This is a situation where extreme religion, or extremists of religion, or what some people will call Christian nationalists, if they are Christians, they misuse religion, and they say stuff like leaders are appointed by God. Now, are they saying that when leaders commit crimes such as genocide against people, or a particular race or ethnic group, or they commit or other crimes against humanity, such as scorched earth policies, putting people in prison, innocent people in prison, and keeping them there for many years without trial, stuff like that, murdering people, killing journalists, stopping dissent at all cost. Did God put them there for that reason? People should not. I don't think people should be abusing religion in that manner. So that is where I would start by looking at this. But we know that the election in La République du Cameroon can never be fair and can never be free, or as they say, free and fair. But that can never happen in La République. We also know that the Biya regime has always been in power, and the only thing that they do, and they spend their time doing, calculating, holding meetings, 75% to 90% of their time is spent on calculating how they are going to maintain power. That's all they do. Whether it is their party, whether it is their surrogates or psychophants, whether it is business people that pay allegiance to them just so they can benefit from the regime somehow. That's all they do. Because if you look around the country and you say, point to something that this government has done for the people, that all the people of La République de Cameroon can say, yes, we had a good leader. This is what he achieved. This is what he's achieved, and enumerate them. There's nothing. There's nothing. All they do is wait until it's that election time. They start playing games. They twist the laws to suit them. They forget that that they say what is good for the gander is also good for the goose. They forget that, and the same laws that they make, they break the laws. They say, for example, you cannot declare yourself a winner, but at the same time they themselves are publishing stuff that are pro regime and pro their candidate. That they cannot have your cake and then eat it. That's exactly what is going on. Those are some of my comments I will make at this time. As we go on, we'll expand on this a little bit more. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me bring back Eric there to continue with the point he was trying to make on what the opposition leaders in the country in Cameroon are doing. We were on the subject of Bello Buba, whether he has made formal contact with Issa Chiruma to congratulate him or at least acknowledge that he won the day. I think Eric is frozen again. Eric is frozen again. Well, let's hope that he gets reconnected. Honorable Chris, let me turn back to you. You have heard Issa Chiroma promising. Okay, let's
Can you
see.
hear me?
Let's see if Eric. We don't know.
Eric,
Something is
Okay.
wrong on your side with the network there. We don't know what is the mom. Okay, it's frozen again. It's frozen again. All right. So, Honorable Chris, let me come back to you. You have heard the responses of Issa Chiroma.
I've
On
opened
the,
I've
yes,
opened.
you are.
So can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Just centralize yourself in camera. Balance yourself. Centralize your image in camera. It's frozen. It's okay. That looks good. I hope this works this time.
I hope so.
Yeah, I get it. It seems like a network problem over there. I don't know. But you are in London. I don't know why you should have any network problem.
In Wales, but I have a strong feeling. Look. I think the mistake may have come from me because I shared the link. I shared it with one of my networks because I wanted people
Okay.
to follow this. So I've been advised that that could have been the problem. I don't know.
All right. So
But
tell us, is
yes,
Bello Buba reaching out to Issa Chiroma?
not in the way he should. I think Mr. Bello, for the statesman he is, ought to recognize the clear victory. I mean, we know that the Constitutional Council in Cameroon has shown its ability to go illegal. We know that it did in the case with Kamto as a candidate, and it will not hesitate to do it again. So I think if we are going to, if the public and Mr. Bello in
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. Eric is again frozen. I guess this is one of those days. But let me turn to Honorable Chris out there. Please tell us, give us your thought on what Issa Chiroma is saying out there about resolving the conflict in Amazonia. What do you look forward to? What is going to be satisfying to you to say, okay, he is serious?
To start with, Comrade Chris, I would at least give him the credit and say you can even call it a thank you to him for being very bold and coming out up front and bringing the issue of the conflict between Amazonia, the former British Southern Cameroons, and La République du Cameroon. So, in a way, he has acknowledged openly to the world, international community, to the people of La République du Cameroun and Ambazonians that a problem exists. He even, as you already know, he even apologized for either for apologizing for himself or for his country, things that have happened. We know a lot of people have died because of this war that was declared on us on the 30th of November 2017. Many people have died on both sides, very unnecessary war. This problem could have been solved a long time ago when it just started, if only La République du Cameroon had decided or agreed to sit down and dialogue earnestly. We're talking about negotiations or dialogue without preconditions, as were being suggested even by the international community. But they did not agree with that. So Mr. Issa Chiroma Bakari coming out and apologizing and saying that the conflict is going to be sort of like put on the front burner of his policy. It's a very, very good start. The area that I personally I personally don't agree is La République keep their eye on the resources of Ambazonia. And if you listen to what he said, he wants the resources of, call it a federated country, which of course no agreement has been done on that yet. He wants the resources to be for the whole country. My view is, our view is that La République du Cameroon does not need Ambazonia. Why do they need Ambazonia in a federation or a confederation? They can take care of themselves, and Ambazonians can take care of themselves. I'm not going to jump the gun here and start negotiating or saying stuff, but we are ready. Ambazonians are ready for serious negotiations, coming to the table. There is no conflict that has ever ended without negotiations. It doesn't matter any kind of war or conflict you have looked at. It was always resolved by negotiating. But if we have to negotiate with La République, we have to negotiate in good faith. No tricks, no more Fumban conference situations, no more a repeat of some people will say, well, when they ask the question, what happened to the first federation? Because you go that route and it doesn't work, they will say, oh, they deceived you the first time. Now they are deceiving you again the second time. That would be like essentially postponing the war. So we have to think about this very, very carefully before we engage with La République du Cameroon in any negotiations, whether it's a temporary confederation and then a referendum down the line, whatever. But Ambazonians have to sit up and think about this very, very seriously before they get involved with La République du Cameroon. We have to think about also things that have happened in the past, not too long ago, the Swiss conference, the one about Canada. Where did it go? Are we the so-called grand dialogue or general dialogue, the one that they had, and it failed woefully? So we have to be very, very careful when we engage with La République du Cameroon. They have to be seen. If we have to we get involved with them in any negotiations, we have to be very, very careful and know what we are doing. If not, we are going to end up in another disaster.
Oh, as part of his suggestions, he is talking about gathering experts and sitting them on the table and resolving the political issues. He's also talking about a referendum. One of the fears out there is Issa Chiroma may go to jail, talk to Ambazonia political prisoners, try to broker a deal with them, and then release them. When they come out, they have different opinion, and those of us who stand out here fighting for independence have different opinion. Should there should those prisoners not be released unconditionally. I think that's what I will push for. If they have to be if they have to be released, they should be released unconditionally, so that we can then sit down and decide what we want and present to the Chiroma government.
That is correct, Comrade Chris. It has to be unconditional, and even you already know that there are some people talking about amnesty. You give amnesty to somebody who has committed a crime. What have those Ambazonians that are in prison? They are all prisoners of conscience. There is nothing they have done that is wrong. They are fighting for self-determination, which is part of the human rights. It's in part of international law. Right now, the war is going on, and it's a war of self-defense. Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians are defending themselves. They are defending their country. They are defending their families. So, like I said, there is no law against self-defense. So, even talking about releasing the prisoners, for me, nobody should even mention an amnesty, because they didn't do anything wrong. You used a very good phrase right there. Being released without condition. That is how it should work. Release without condition. Did we lose the signal or something? Comrade Chris. Comrade Chris, did we lose the signal?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
For a moment there, I thought we lost the signal.
Okay, no, I can hear you. All right, let's get to Eric. He is back, and I hope that he is back for good at this time. Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you. Sorry about it.
All right, no, it's okay. It happens.
Technology does that sometimes. We have to just
It happens sometimes, yes. So
I'm using a different source now. Hope
I
this
can
works.
see the image looks a little different now. Yeah. So tell me, Eric, we were talking about Issa Chiroma's promise to free Ambazonian political prisoners. If you can bend your camera a little bit, please. Yeah, Issa Chiroma is talking about freeing Ambazonian prisoners, and he mentioned in an interview of doing so. I don't know, in the conversation with Agwobala, actually, about doing so within the first 3 months of his presidency. And we are wondering, why should it take him 3 months to release political prisoners? Should he not release them within a week of taking over? I actually heard Rebecca Inonchong share the same idea. They should be released on day number 1 without any conditions, isn't it?
I absolutely agree, and I don't think it will take 3 months. I'm almost certain that within his first month in office, obviously, there's a lot of cleaning up to do, but as soon as he can get to it, and my hope is in a week, in 2 weeks, it should not even take that long, really.
Right.
These guys should not be where they are. The only reason they're where they are is because we have a regime that is totally unwilling to engage in any reasonable discussions. So the first thing should happen, I think, within a week, and I can almost, because I know Mr. Chiroma well, can almost guarantee this. Within a week, they'll move out of where they are, which is jail, to a home. They'll be, they'll be held in a home, pretty much along the same lines of what happened to Mandela when he left Robben Island. And then the negotiations can start from there. That's
why should
I think.
Hold on there. Why should they be removed in Yaoundé and held in a home close to the prison yard? Why should they not be allowed to go back if we all agree that these people committed no crime?
Yes, I'm not saying look, I'm giving you my best understanding of what could possibly happen. They will not be held in a home next to the prison. The home could be their own very homes. Ayuk Tabe will go to his house if his house is still in Yaoundé, whilst the paperwork, because there is paperwork involved, is dealt with, and the conditions for the necessary discussions that must take place are put in place. I think this is going to happen, and it's not going to happen in 3 months. No, I don't think so. Chris, one of the things, I don't want to go back to the past, it doesn't help, but it's important to know that the Amazonian leadership has a problem of strategy. It's important to know that. When I told you and others, including Ayuk Tabe, that we should, it was important to call for a truce in the day before, the day during, and the day after the election. The reason was precisely because I knew that this government, this regime in place, will exploit the situation, frighten people from voting, and then fill up ballot boxes with Mr. Biya's ballot. And proof of it, he's winning everywhere in the two regions, everywhere. Even in places where there are no people. They tell us they have 140 voters, and then they end up with 3,000 people who voted for Mr. Biya.
Exactly. But that is exactly the point who we're making. That whether we vote or we don't vote, he will come out with good figures that show him taking all the votes. We are told that in villages, in towns where the population do not even exist to the number of registered voters, they inflate them and they give them all to him. But that is the point we
Yes.
made, that it doesn't make sense.
No, but the reason they did was because people didn't go out to vote. Had that announcement been made, and Amazonians reassured that they could go vote, those who had voting cards, there was no way they could have used what they're using now.
Well, I don't think that argument holds, because that is happening everywhere, even in La République du Cameroon, where people were allowed to go out and vote. The thing happened. So I think I lost Eric again.
And by the way,
No, I'm here.
by the way,
Oh, okay.
Public Chris.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
Chris,
was
that's
just
what
going to, I was just going to add that how can we Ambazonians, former British Southern Cameroonians, say that we want our sovereignty back? We had declared our independence. We have demarcated borders from La République du Cameroon since independence. How can we say that and then we even think about allowing their elections to take place on our territory? That doesn't make sense.
There's nothing you can do about it. This is your problem with strategy. You're talking about what people have voted, whether you like it or not. They did vote, right? So you've got to be strategic in your thinking.
No.
Well, so you see it, but people voted, sir. Whether you like it or not, they voted. They
Eric,
even all of the people
because of intimidation. That's all they did.
No.
Intimidated
All of the no. Only those with voting cards. So they deliberately went and got their voting cards. That's the point.
Eric, but you are making the point. You are making the point we made from day number one, that it doesn't
remember
make
that
any sense.
on that territory, it's not only indigenous Ambazonians who live in Ambazonia. You have people that have come from other provinces, other ethnic groups who are pro regime, and for them voting doesn't mean anything. They can do it. Doesn't mean that those are Ambazonians who are willing to vote.
All I was saying was you take away the power to fabricate results. You would have taken that away from the Ministry of Territorial Administration, from Mr. Tangenji. You didn't.
Let me, Eric, do you have any doubt?
Eric, has there ever been an election where La République has not frauded, has not used fraud in order to gain votes or to win the election? Has there ever been?
They
Even this
always
one
have,
that we
but
are
you
talking
don't
about,
give them
even
don't
this
give
one,
them any more
even this one,
reasons than they need.
even this one that we are talking about, we don't know how it's going to turn out. The Constitutional Council, the so-called which is nothing but a kangaroo Constitutional Council, and of course, by extension, a kangaroo Supreme Court. They may decide to say Biya won again, even if the tallies show
They
that
will. They will.
Issa Chiroma won.
They will. You'd have
Let me
taken away.
let me ask Eric. Do you have any doubt, at
Yeah.
all? Because I have followed up elections in Bamenda, and I know the battle that is going on in Bamenda as we speak over Elecam certifying certain results. Elecam officials there are saying they are under severe pressure from Yaoundé to say that Biya won in Bamenda, and there's a fight over it. But my point is, do you have any doubt, Eric, that the majority of the vote cast in all of the southern Cameroons went to Issa Chiroma? Do you have any doubt about that?
I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt that the vast majority of those votes went to Issa Chiroma. Not an iota of doubt.
So the point is now, Issa Chiroma was voted, but But the CBDM is claiming everything and even inflating those numbers, which is one of the arguments we made. What difference would it make? We vote, he wins. We don't vote, he wins. So,
Yes, what they used was the fact that people were afraid to go and vote. There was you declared a lockdown, so they just used that. A handful of people went, and then they could look. It they're trying the same tactic across the country,
yeah.
but they did not have the argument they had in the northwest and the southwest regions.
Well, I think our decision was strategic. We have no regret about it at all because
I think
it doesn't affect.
you should have looked at a candidate you can negotiate with. That's what we're talking about. We have
Have no doubt. You put Paul Biya and Chiroma side by side. I will pick Chiroma because I know I can negotiate with Chiroma. But we'll wait for that moment to come. We'll wait for that moment. Voting him again doesn't guarantee any victory. He has won. Everybody says he has won. Put Ambazonia away. Everybody agrees he has won. Let's get him there. Let's get him there. We can sit down with him and talk. That is our point. But let's get back to what lies ahead. Maybe in a week's time, the Constitutional Council will be declaring the winner officially of this election. Is Issa Chiroma ready to defend the vote this time? This is very important because in the 90s, we knew that Frundi won. It was another moment like this where the momentum was huge, you know that. But Frundi said he doesn't want to shed blood. He doesn't want to disturb the peace of the country. He didn't fight. The same thing 2018 with Maurice Kamto. Is Issa Chiroma determined to fight as we see that the people out there, the people determined to fight? Eric? Oh my, Eric is having a very bad day with his connection today. But let me turn that question to Chris Ajua, if he can attempt it. You think that Issa Chiroma is ready, as the people on the ground are ready to defend his victory?
Comrade Chris, going by what Mr. Issa Chiroma himself has said, he is ready to defend his victory. They're ready to defend his victory. We have seen what is happening all over the country, the support that he is getting. We have seen the intimidation that even before the results have been declared. We have seen what is happening, but especially in the far north and the other regions of La République du Cameroon. I'm talking about the violence between the military and the civilians. The civilians using brute force against. I mean, sorry, the military using brute force against civilians, and the burning of their military trucks and stuff like that. They what I think the Biya regime is really should I mean think about it seriously and be scared of is that if this thing goes out of hand and it turns out to be an armed conflict, the, the consequences can be really dire for La République du Cameroon. As you mentioned earlier in your monologue, it looks like there are even troops being dispatched or moved from Amazonian territory towards the northern part of La République du Cameroon. So, and if that happens, and there is a conflict against civilians, or they start fighting with civilians, and that spreads throughout the country to big cities like Douala and Yaoundé, and many other places like Bafoussam. So where is La République going to end up? They might end up having a civil war in their hands. And we should also know that whatever happens on that side of the country, because we are fighting them, is also going to affect Ambazonia, the former British Southern Cameroons. That is how I look at the possibility of escalation of violence.
In the Douala today, we saw crowds of young men taking to the street to pull down images of Paul Biya, again demonstrating defiance against the regime. Do you see more of that happening in the days ahead?
Yes, I think so. And as we get closer and closer to the date that they are going to release the results officially. And of course, that day is going to be the main defining day. Call it a D-Day for La République du Cameroon. And things might either go totally down the drain, or depending on whether the results come out and the dictator goes on TV and congratulates Mr. Chiroma for his victory and peacefully steps down, or if the CPDM and their clique um, become recalcitrant and they want to plunge the country into a civil war. That is their piece of cake. Let them decide what they want to do. But as Ambazonians, we will continue. We are not putting down our weapons. We are fighting for our freedom, and we'll continue along those lines until Ambazonia is free. Thank you.
So the question out there for Ambazonians is, what is, I mean, are they ready? Are they ready to negotiate with Isa Chiroma?
Yeah, Comrade Chris, I think Amazonians are ready at any time to negotiate with the supposed winner of La République du Cameroon a presidential election, Mr. Isa Chiroma. I think we are ready. It's a matter of working with the right international organizations, international bodies, nations that can guarantee peaceful negotiations. There is, like I said earlier, there has never been any conflict that was resolved, or any war that ended without negotiations. Ambazonians are ready, as long as the procedure is followed correctly, and they call it the atmosphere is conducive to those negotiations.
You know that Isa Chiroma is saying Cameroon is indivisible, right?
Exactly. That is one of the points that I was making earlier when I mentioned that La République du Cameroon can exist on their own, and Ambazonia can exist on its own. Why do they keep stressing this point that Ambazonia must be part of whether it's a federation or a confederation? Why should that happen? And their eye is always on Ambazonian resources. And what for since 1961 until date, we are now in 2025. What has Ambazonians benefited from their natural resources, both the soil and in the ground? What have they benefited? Nothing. So what is the use of having a federation or a confederation with people that don't even take you for anything? Why? What? Grandmothers like Mami Api, old women killed for what? No mercy, just shot and killed like that. And there are thousands and thousands of cases like that. People that are in jail, journalists, prisoners of conscience, all those people in jail. So there is not going to be any justice. I still ask the question, who is going to be held accountable? Is the ICC going to just fold their arms and sit? The AU fold their arms and sit and just watch? The EU fold their arms and sit? The United Nations will just fold their arms and sit and say, okay, Ambazonia and French Cameroon, they have peace, and they let all the criminals go free. After World War II, there was a Nuremberg trial for the same reason, for justice. So what is going to be?
Houston, Texas. Chris, you hold on there. Chris, hold on, please. Let's get to the next caller here. You calling from where?
Houston, Texas.
All right. What is your contribution, sir?
Yes, Comrade Chris, I want to first of all thank you so very much for all the wonderful fight you've been doing for Ambazonia to have their statehood back. And I want to say something to Mr. Eric Chinji, because I've been listening to him and in other broadcasts. He is for secularism. That's what I know. I've been hearing him say that, And I remember I watched.
Can you take that point again? You have been hearing him say what?
I've been hearing him on other broadcasts. He is for federalism.
Okay.
I've been hearing him on other broadcasts. He is for federalism, and there was one thing he said. There was one thing he said. Those who are for independence and he finally win, then fine. So I heard him say that sometime. Okay. Now I watched Mr. Eric Chinji, whom I loved so much and I still love and admired. In the days that CRTV had CRTV, 1985, he was the one that we all the Ambazonians were proud of. I mean, with his beautiful afro at the time, So there was an interview that he gave to Mr. Biya, when Mr. Biya said to him, "Je pense que ma tête concerne Eric Chinji n'est plus le chef." I think he remembers that. So that's to say, Biya as a dictator, Chiroma is still the same thing, because Chiroma is of the same soup. I don't trust him at all. No one. We have to fight, please, for our total independence from these people. Chiroma is of the same soup. Political language, we have suffered it for 64 years. He told people in Bamenda, I followed him, he said he did not know the causes of the factor. They just brought something to him to read. He did not know what he was doing. A minister who is a grandfather, if you cannot know, me who I am a small child to you, would know that I can start telling how things happen in the days of Funcha Delhi. How the Funcha even struggled to fight. Struggling. Britain would be going to United Nations and collaborating, but they should not accept that Funcha and the people should have total independence. Chiloma will be telling Cameroonians that He did not know anything. That is a lie. So,
All right.
please, I don't trust him.
All
I
right.
don't trust him.
Absolutely.
So,
You have an opinion there. Maybe one of these days when we have him on.
Greetings to the other brother who is there with you. I see Ambassador flag behind him. He is for what I am talking about. So please,
Okay.
if
All right. Thank
anybody
you.
who is talking about federalism had not have his house, family house, and grandmothers burnt alive, he would not be talking about what they are saying federalism. Please, I know you are there. You've lost your mother, you've lost your house. Those who have lost their house, I haven't lost anything. But I haven't lost anything like house burnt or whatever. But I feel so hurt for what people have done.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We come from the Bogogo area.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello, comrade. Please, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Gang Zero, Bamenda precisely.
Okay. And what is your contribution, sir?
Yes, my contribution is to just let you know what is happening in La Republique right now. So
Okay.
it seems they have already set the CPDM hall in Chang due to election fraud. So this evening, people have protested in Chang until set the CPDM hall in Chang on fire, ablaze.
Oh, they burnt CPDM hall in Chang today?
Yeah, this evening. It's going on live this evening. The images we are having from there. Then during the daytime, during the protest in Douala also, they start spraying people with mami water as they were doing in Bamenda.
Okay.
And it seems as if tension is also mounting in Limbe in front of the Elecam office because they are forcing Chiruma's representative to sign the data that they have changed. They have changed the election there, so they are forcing the person who was representing Peter Chiruma to sign those papers so that the populations are there mounting this evening that they should release him and he's not going to sign any result that is not the true result that was got free from the poll.
All right. Thank you for the call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, please?
Yes, I'm speaking from Ground Zero.
What is your contribution?
Yeah.
What is your contribution?
Yeah, my contribution is to acknowledge the problem at hand, and I want to.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the Netherlands.
All right. And what is on your mind, sir?
Great. Thanks, Mr. Chris Anu, and thanks for having Mr. Eric Chinje there.
Okay.
So my question is, first of all, I have a question to Mr. Eric Chinje. He's talked about Mr. Chiroma, and I believe Mr. Chiroma has done his part, and the ambassador are gone already and standing on the fence and watching what's happening in La Republique. So my question to him is, does he believe that the French Cameroon citizens can stand up and defend their own particular vote that they have put forward? Can they do that? Because nobody is coming to fight for them. Can they do that? Because they can't be hanging on social media and be making comments and talking about Mr. Chiroma. He's done his part, he's waiting. can they be able to defend their vote? My question is to Mr. Eric Ginger.
All right, thank you.
Chris.
Thank you. That's a very good question, Eric, because it's a question I have asked. I thought that right after Issa Chiroma declared victory, a lot of Republicans, citizens will swarm the voting centers and stay there until they get the right results coming from the right quarters.
That's not how it happens, Chris. I mean, there are systems in place, and until those systems fail, you cannot move on to a state of violence. Violence is justified when everything else has failed. What I believe we will see, and maybe this might answer the question. Mr. Chiroma has advised for people to stay calm. He's monitoring the situation. We will see. We're preparing the case, the arguments for any decision that will be taken, for or against any decision that will be taken at the Constitutional Council. That is the process. Now, if the Constitutional Council acts illegally as it did with Kanto, then they leave the people no other option but to reclaim forcefully their decision, the votes. The people have decided, the people have spoken. So yes, we'll go through. It's important to go through the process. A society of morals and legal and respect for the law must necessarily recognize these things. So why are the question was asked, why are people not revindicate, why are they not demanding that their will as expressed through the ballot box be respected? You must know that the country is almost burning. Bafusan is in flames, parts of Bafusan.
Yeah, I learned that too.
Almost in flames. Today as we speak. So yes, there are people, but we've got to, and I think Mr. Chiroma has to try and do that. The rest of us will try to calm tempers. We've never resolved our human problems necessarily. I don't know that violence is necessarily the best first step in resolving a problem. But I think if the Constitutional Council and ELECAM and all those institutions that are there to ensure that the right things are done, if they cannot do it, there'll be a good reason to go to take them on. The streets will take them on. And that's what I think we will see.
All right.
There were a number of questions which I don't remember. Yeah.
Let's get back to the callers here. Hello. Hello, good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Comrade Eno Peter. I'm calling from France. First of all, I will say good evening to Big Brother Eric. And what is going on today is the problem. If Chiroma becomes the president, it is actually a step for us to see that maybe we can negotiate with him. But before that, he has to first of all release all the prisoners of conscience and all the people that were arrested. Like Big Brother Eric is trying to do, he's just trying because he has been in the diplomatic war for quite a long time, and he doesn't know sometimes where to hide his head, because with somebody of his caliber could not have come in to say something to bring Ambazonia and La Republique together, that we can talk on the table. So just like what is going on today, like the daughter of Biya is on the internet saying that the father have lost the election, and Chiroma is now the president, and she has been ordered to evacuate the Continental Hotel. That is from her mouth on the Facebook. That she said, maintenant que Chiroma est devenu président, et le blanc ne veut plus de moi, il veut me éviter dans le hotel. Which means she is saying that now that Chiroma is not the president, the hotel that she is staying, they don't have any respect again for her. and they are asking her to leave because of problems in the hotel. So we just wait and see. Let the Francophone fight for their victory. It's not our business. Let them fight. Because in 1992, we lost a lot of people in Bamenda. The 2008 food crisis in Douala, we see how it happens. We have always been the one to lose our blood, but it's no more our business. Let them fight for their right and bring up a person. Let us see that we can discuss and see if they will come to us to see that they have our own respect.
All right, thank you for the call. Hello. Hello, where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Grass Zero.
What is your contribution?
Yes, I love the presentation this evening. I want to appreciate you, and I want to talk about Eric Chinje that is there. At times when he's on, I love to call to ask him some questions, because I've been for my age in Cameroon. These people have never respected their words. Never. They don't even know what they are saying, and they will not go back to your word. So they can say something in the morning, and in the evening, they will change it. So let him know we are on the ground. I was in the voting box. I counted the vote. But let him know one thing, because I heard him talking to you of us saying that people should not go and vote as if something will change. There is nothing that is going to change. Even now as they are talking and election is going on, Biya will still comes the winner. Is still the winner. And the people, this government is very devilish. They don't care about people's blood. They are going to suck it, and they are going to do whatsoever they want to do. So if Eric and his people want to fight, they should stand well, because the people are not going to allow them. That is why they are doing all the mafia to send back the man in the field. And they are serious about it. They are not joking about it. Though they should not expect that the council will come in and call the Issa Chiroma. We voted for him.
All right, thank you.
That I was.
Thank you.
We voted for him.
Okay, so you were you a polling station worker or what?
Yes, I came in when they called us to come and be witness. I even signed the paper that came in. I signed.
On behalf of which party?
That?
You worked there on behalf of which party?
I came there for Issa Chiroma. I came there I voted him first. Then we went back home. Then we came back again. They have to put us in the room. And so I have my result. But the people, the result that they are pasting in their own social media is not the same thing.
And where precisely did you was this polling station you witnessed?
It's in Douala.
Okay. All right. Thank you for making the point. We'll hear you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's get this other caller first. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Uncle B, I guess.
Exactly, sir.
All right. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Chris. I have two areas of concern I want Comrade Eric to address. First, I want let him keep the constitutional or whatever court they call, because that court is going to read by what the government is going to present to them. They might not even have access to what Chiroma is claiming. So what answer can they give to think that everything that when they proclaim, there'll be something different from what the Atakanjis are saying? Number two,
will be different.
Our voices in the book, what I heard him say, nobody should be killed. I want him to address the fact that what does he on his own part think should happen to those boys who already are fighting for Ambazonia? Are they going to integrate into the military or into the Ambazonia police force.
Well, we're
Number
not there
three,
yet. I don't think we are there. Well, maybe you're
yeah,
asking.
wait. No, well, sometimes we make projections. Say,
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
this can happen, this can happen. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And then number three is that I heard Issa Chirumas explaining that we were not given the ability to vote whether or be on our own. I want Eric to attempt to answer for me this question. Is he going to urge Issa Chiroma a situation within to give other opportunity to say, since we were not asked whether we wanted to be on our own, he acknowledges that. Is he going to give us the opportunity to then decide whether we want that or not? Will that also be presented what he wants us to be? Or he just going to suspend, having acknowledged that we were not asked that option? Is he going to provide for other option? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Eric, go on, please. That last part is very important.
Yes, very important, Chris. Again, as I say, I am one person, albeit someone with a voice. And I'll use that voice to say exactly this. As soon as Mr. Jerome is sworn in, I will do everything in my power to make sure he keeps his word on addressing this problem over every other problem. I will do everything in my power to make sure this problem is resolved, is addressed. And I know it will. I believe he will, because he has come to understand it in its deepest expressions. Now, what I can say is, yes, it will not be my decision. It will not be your decision, Chris. It'll be all of us sitting together and determining the best way forward. I can guarantee you that. And that's all I can do. Make sure that we come to a meaningful consensus on the best way forward. Is it independence? Is it statehood? Is it within a federation? You know, somebody says they've heard me speak in favor of a federation. I don't remember that I have, but my position has always been the same. And I'm saying it again, which is we've got to sit together and resolve this problem. Because we come at it, we, Amazonians, we, Southern Cameroonians, we, the West Cameroonians, we, the Anglophone speakers of Cameroon. Give it any name, it's just a name. But we come at it from different angles. There are respected Amazonians who are federalists, or, well, you know, maybe not Amazonians, but certainly people from that geography who are federalists. There are those who are for, you call them remain, for the federation as it is, for the republic as it is. There are those who would rather, you know, have a state. There are those who would even want two states.
Yeah.
Because they say, oh no, you know, those folks cannot get along with those others. So let's all sit together calmly. And let all the, you know, there's a lot of water has gone below the bridge. Let's let the waters flow. Let's sit together and design a future that our children will be proud of. That's what this is it really comes down to. There's a lot of anger. I mean, Chris, I know what you've gone through. I have lost family members in this stupid war. You and I were not responsible for this war.
No, we're not.
Yes, Mr. Biya, who declared the war. Are we going to bring back the 93-year-old man and drag him through the mud? I don't know. But let's do the right thing. Let's get Mr. Chiroma to office if we can, and we'll do everything we can to get him there, and hold him to his word. Organize this roundtable with all the stakeholders. Let's decide what to do. We need help from the United Nations. Let's bring in the UN. From the African Union, let's bring them in. Whoever the stakeholders are, let's have that meeting and determine the future. Look, we you know, our emotions will not resolve it. The anger, the hate, the disappointments will not resolve it. Let's set our eyes. Let the future be our North Star. Let's reach for the North Star. That's what I'll say.
All right. We will leave it there, but before we do that, Chris, go ahead, please, and if you want to address some of those callers, that is okay, and then we'll call it a night. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, Comrade Chris. Yes. Well, just from what the previous callers were saying, I want to go back to the question of instability within the territory of La République du Cameroon and Ambazonia, because some of the things that we are hearing about buildings being burnt, it's not going to be only in only on the French Cameroon side. Many people are very angry and disappointed with the CPDM party for all these years that they have been entrenched in power. They have caused a lot of havoc in the lives of both Ambazonians and people of the French Cameroon. Families have suffered a lot. If you just look at, if we want to just name a few things, look at the roads. Some of the roads that were built by the Germans and even the British. Some of those roads are still being, I mean, including even bridges. Some of them are still being used. The ones that were built early in by Ahijo and the French. Most of them have collapsed. We are talking infrastructure here. Look at electricity. In some towns, you turn on the light, you can't even read with the light that it is being emitted from a bulb. We ask people what is going on, they tell you it's low voltage. This is unacceptable in a country that has so many resources, with water resources for electricity. They have all, I mean, in many places, but they still cannot produce electricity for the nation. Look at water. How many places can you open a tap on both sides? I'm talking like in Ambazonia and in French Cameroon. Open a tap and take water and drink and believe and know that water is clean, is lead free, or it doesn't contain other contaminants, not things like that. Look at the healthcare system. There was a time I saw a picture. Of a hospital in Limbe. Even a butcher shop in the United States is better than a surgery room in that hospital. I'm talking a butcher shop where they butcher animals is cleaner than that hospital surgery room. Look at the educational system. Everything is down. Everything that is the people in the French Cameroon side are suffering from, Ambazonians are suffering the same way. So this change coming is a good thing. We only hope that Mr. Issa Chiroma is going to play his part and make improvements for his country and find a way to resolve the conflict between his country and Ambazonia.
All
That's
right.
my conclusion. Thank you.
Before we go, Eric, I really love to ask you. It's an opinion question here. What do you think becomes of the CPDM? Do you see that party surviving after Chiroma takes over leadership?
No, it will implode. No, I do not doubt it for 1 second. It will implode. It was never a party. Mr. Biya himself is not even a member of that party. He's not done anything to demonstrate his party status. So we don't know. I mean, they tell us he's the president of the party, but he's not convened the Congress. He's not convened the political bureau. He's not been a part of the central committee. He's done nothing. They do all the work for him.
So where do
So it
you
will
see?
implode. It will almost cease to exist.
So where do you see the Atanganjis, the Gregoire Owanas, the Ngongo, the Paul Tasson? Where would they be militating in?
You know, there's some good guys there. You know, Ellen Paul, for example, is a great guy. Um, and Asheri Kilo is a wonderful lady. There are some really, really good people there. Hopefully, they'll come back into the mix and define their roles and play those roles. But there are some fellows who would either run out of the country or go where they deserve to be, which is the place they call Konegi.
Or they go and drink their oil like Emi Banko, I guess. All right, Eric, please, thank you for coming on. We had a lot of technical issues today, but I'm hoping that next time we get it right. You have
Yes,
a great night, sir.
absolutely, Chris.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we are caught up with time and we can't go ahead, but I promise to be back here tomorrow with another very interesting show. Before I go, again, I'm appealing to all of you out there, please consider supporting ABS so we can stay on satellite and keep on bringing this education and information to everyone out there in Africa. We're looking for 100 people who will sign up to give ABS just $25 every month, a commitment for a year. If you want to do that, please send me a message on the number you find on your screen, and we'll let you to know how to go about that. Again, we need 100 people who will sign up to donate $25 on a monthly basis to ABS so that we can take care of the satellite bill. We are into satellites in all of Africa, and the only way we keep it and do what we are doing here is to have people like you who will stand up to say, I like what you guys are doing, this is my support. So please send me a message through the number on your screen and we'll go from there. Thank you very much for tuning in. It was my pleasure to be here. I look forward to coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow being Thursday, and it is going to be as exciting as usual with some very special guests. Very special guests coming to be a part of